the old trusty squat position if you can get down here. Don't worry if you can't fully sit down. What are you doing there, Joe? You just backing down off a chair? Oh. Yeah, that's it. Just as low as you can. Perfect. Yeah, so just basically try and get a bit comfortable here. Like if you can put your arms either side of your knees, just spread them out a little bit. Try and think about, I don't know if you can see, try and think about like gripping the floor with your feet as if you were going to pick a weight up on your back. So you grip the floor. Just gently stretch your legs apart. And then from here, we'll just do 5 nice, slow, deep squats. So just rise to standing. Banana farmer. So rise to standing. And back down. So that's 1. Nice and deep, as low as you can. 1, 2, 3. So just trying to get you all loosened off here. And last 1. All right, from here, come into a lunge. So just post on your front knee if you like. Ignoring this is just bog from work. So you should feel a nice stretch in your back hip flexor. So just gently like rock forward. Just try and get a couple of millimeters further forward each time. Just gently. And then from here, if you post your opposite hand, reach up high to the sky and try and drive your elbow down beside your foot. So I'm a little bit sore and unflexible at the moment. So if you do 5 of these, you should find it a bit easier each time. Just go as low as you can. If you can't get your elbow all the way to the ground, that's fine. I'm just trying to get a nice mobile stretch. All right, and then we'll swap over to the other side. Once you've done 5. So just gently try and stretch into that position. A few rocks. Post your hand, other hand to the sky. Really try and open your shoulders. And then same again. That side for me is a lot more mobile, so don't worry. One side's easier than another. Normal. And then if you roll onto your back, so you give you 2 options here. This is just to get your abs firing a little bit, try and get your core activated. So you can either do 10 hollow body rocks, or if they're too hard, if you can grab your knees and just try and go into like a bit of a rounded position like this. Just try and switch your abs on. If you've got a bit of a hard floor, it might be a bit uncomfortable, but if you've got carpet, it's actually quite nice. All right, then from here, bring one knee up. Just loosen your ankle off. And over to the side, face the other way. Opposite side. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, and then knee to the floor, face the other way. All right, and then back to standing. So I'll just do 20 high knees on each side. So I'll just start to get a bit more warmed up, get a bit more blood flowing. So nice and high. And then 20 star jumps. and then just a gentle little bounce. So just try and keep your shoulders nice and loose. They should really be sort of bouncing around in the sockets. Pretend you're skipping. All right, and then some quick shoulder circles, arm circles forward. So we'll do 8 forward, 8 backwards, and then swap. All right, so we're going to begin. All right, so there's going to be two halves basically. We'll do 3 rounds of 3 exercises, and then 3 rounds of a different 3 exercises. In between those, we're going to do like a little bit of either a frog stand or headstand practice, or you can just have a breather. Was that disappointment, Joe? So, just to sort of get you into it, it is tricky, definitely. It does take a lot of practice. If you don't feel like doing it, that's fine. You can just try the headstand. So, if the frog stand, you want to be up on your toes, leaning forward, and just knees above your elbows. Even if you can't lift your knees, lift your feet off the floor. If you just try and get used to putting some more weight on your hands, then you should just be able to feel it. You can see my toes. Just get to the point where it's just your tippy toes. Just your tippy toes, bearing your weight on the back, and if you can raise them up. And similarly, if you'd rather practice a headstand, I'd do this with a wall in front of you. So if you fall, you're going to fall into the wall. I've got my hidden, unsightly mattress here. Well, it's not mine, it's the house's. So that one would be, you can either start with your hands clasped behind your head, go up like that, or you can make a tripod, so your head goes forward, hands behind you like that. Say again, pike your bum in the air. And this one, you've got the benefit of placing your knees on your elbows. So you can just practice holding that. If you can get, or practice just climbing up your knees, up your arms, sorry. So, in between the rounds, we'll just do a bit of this, and you can practice whatever you like. If you've got questions, just unmute yourself, and I will direct my answers directly to you guys. All right, so we'll start like the main section. So this is going to be, we've got 3 exercises, 3 rounds, and then we'll do another 3. So first 3 are explosive stepping lunges. So you want to basically come into a lunge, but from the end position, explode back up. So you're coming back to a nice standing position like that. So we'll do 8 to 10, 10 ideally if you can, but just try and do them quite explosively. So we'll do one side first. If you're going right side first, do 10 consecutive reps on the right, then 10 consecutive reps on the left. Then we'll move into a push up to side plank, which I'll show you, and then a Superman pull down. So starting with the lunges, I do your weak side first, the nice deep step, explode back up. Go ahead and change after 10. Straight into push-ups. Disclaimer, I've hurt my shoulder, so I will be doing a nice, easier variation. But what I want you to do is basically, once you've done your push-up and you come back up, if you can see, just post on one side and raise up to the sky. So just do it as slow as needed to keep you balanced, don't want you falling over. We'll do 10 total, so five on the left, 5 on the right, and just alternate them. So do a push-up, go up with your right arm, do a push-up, go up with your left. So it'll be 5 on each side if you can, all right? Good. And then we'll do Superman. So what I ideally want you to do, not really got much room in here, is have, if you can, have your feet off the floor, shoulders off the floor, and from that position you want to simulate a lat pull down. So really squeeze your arms, squeeze your elbows like down into your back pockets. If it's too hard to keep your back legs up, first thing you do is leave those on the floor and just see if you can keep your shoulders up. If that's too hard, once it gets too hard, just let your chest touch the floor. So the floor's supporting your body, but you're still doing that nice squeeze in your lats. All right, it's 10 of these. All right, that's one round of 6 done. So we'll just have a minute or so. We're going to be pretty quick through these first 3. Then we'll have a bit longer for the next 3. And we'll do a bit more of frog stand, headstand stuff. How you all going with those? Any questions?
Yeah.
You all okay?
Yeah.
You all right, Cheryl? You're oh, you're there. All right, I'm muting you all again. Round 2 coming up. All right, lunges. Remember, explosive. So nice and deep. And you don't need to come straight back off. You can have a little bit of a stretch there, get supported, and then power back. Straight up to the next leg. I find it helps to keep your back foot sort of on the balls of your feet. But if you want to go back into a nice standing position and plant them again, that's fine. Just helps you spring back a bit more. Last one. All right, push-ups. So remember, just alternating push-ups to side plank. With your push-ups, remember to try and have your shoulders down. You don't want them shoved up like that. Have them down, and you're going to be coming out at that sort of position. Like a lot of people have their arms like that. It's not necessarily wrong. It's a bit more stress on your joints and a bit more mechanical advantage to having them like an arrow shape like that. So somewhere around this angle, like 45 degrees from your body. All right. All right, and straight into Supermans after you finish those. All right, so remember, start with a hard variation. If you want to get 1 or 2 reps out like this with your feet up and your shoulders off, that's fine. Just adapt as you go, adapt as you fatigue. So start with that. Once that's too hard, put your feet on the ground. Once that's too hard, put your chest on the ground. But while you're fresh, just try and get a few of the reps out at a harder variation. I really think of squeezing your lats. So these muscles here. Pull them down. And then push back up. Well done. About 45 seconds, a minute break or so. All right. Ready? Final round of these 3 exercises. So explosive lunge, yeah. And swap after 10. Last one. Push-ups. Once you're done, down your own time whenever you're ready. So when you do your planks, see if you can really get that. I know it's a bit of an act. See if you can get that shoulder right back. But wherever you can go, it's all good. All right, Supermans, that's this round finished. We're almost halfway. All right. All right, 10, let's go. Squeeze the lats, and then push back up. Well done. All right, so we'll have a minute break. Then we'll muck around for another minute or so with the headstand or frog stand, whatever you want to work on. And then we'll do the next round. So the next round will be lateral lunges, so that's stepping off to the side. Pikes, which I'll show you as an ab exercise. And then an elbow floor drive. So again, this is more so simulating like a row. That would be like a pull up or a lat pull down. So even though you're not pulling any weight, if you're really squeezing your muscles, you can actually get quite a good contraction of your muscles there. The floor elbow drive will be trying to simulate like a lat pull or a bent over row. So you're pulling horizontally in this direction, so driving the elbows into the floor. So have another 30 seconds rest or so. You all good? I've just unmuted you all. You all feeling okay? Any questions?
No, good.
Good.
Yes, thank you.
If you explain the next round, I walked inside to get water, so I got no idea what you said.
Yeah, no worries. But I'll go through it as we go through them. But it's going to be lateral lunges, so lunging to the side, and then pikes and floor elbow drive. So that's you've seen that before, I think, Greg. The elbow drive is just like that. So sort of like a bridge where you drive your elbows into the ground. It's sort of simulated a row. But we're going to do some handstand, headstand, frog stand playing for the next minute or so. So, all right, I'm going to begin now. I'll mute you all again.
I'm going to watch you, Joe.
All right, I'm watching Jo as well. She's on my first screen, so just whatever you can do. If it's a frog stand, start, fingers nice and splayed, about shoulder apart, really drive them into the floor, get a nice spread. Then you want to lift your bum slightly, sort of come into that bear crawl position almost. Just lean forward, so you're gently walking your feet towards your knees. Find the comfiest spot you can find on your arms, above your elbows. It's not going to be very comfy wherever you choose, but there is some worse spots than others. And then just gently lean forward onto your tiptoes and see if you can just get that weight off, even just for a second. That's frog stand. And then we're going to find a headstand. Had enough? You all right, Joe? All right. So we'll move on to the meat and potatoes now. So lateral lunges. So don't worry if you can't get really far down with these. They're quite awkward and they require like quite a lot of flexibility. But what it should basically look like, you want to go back to this nice sort of standing position, like a deadlift position. You want to step laterally outside, so like that. And I point your toes outwards slightly. That'll just give you a bit of range for your knee to travel out. This back foot wants to be pointing forward. You can't quite see. So you step standing like that, just as deep as you can. If you can get this top thigh parallel to the floor, that's brilliant. But if you can only get there, that's fine. If your foot comes up, that's fine. All right, so we're going to do 10 of these, but 10 total, because they're quite a lot more strenuous for a lot of people. So no rush for them. They're not explosive. Just go nice and slow. Go as low as you can. Hold for a second, and then back to standing. All right, and then again. So it's 5 on each side for this, 10 total reps. Just a bit more of a flexibility exercise. Nice and deep. Next one. Good. All right, then swap legs. Nice and deep. Last one. Good. Good from what I can see. All right, Pikes, so core exercise. So, same again, we're going to slow it down a little bit. There's no rush for these. But what I want you to do is basically have your feet up in the air like that. If you can, start with your arms above your head. Basically, just toe touches. Got 10. If they're a little too easy, you can do it from laying. So you start from laying. Good. All right. And then the last exercise in this round is an elbow drive into the floor. So if you come into a nice bridge position, so your heels want to be touching your bum more or less. And then what you're going to do is imagine there's a lat machine, a lat pull, cable pull. So you're going to start from here, pretending it's in your hands. Really think about creating some tension and pull your hands back, drive them into the ground, and see if you can lift the ball off the floor, even if it's a couple of millimeters. All right, it's 10 of these. Pull, drive, back. Don't worry if you don't lift your ball off the floor, it's fine. Just think about trying to make it happen. Two more. Pull, squeeze. All right, 1 of 3 done for this selection of exercise. How'd you all go with those? Any difficulties with them?
That last one, what are you meant to be lifting off the ground?
Just you're probably not going to lift anything, so don't worry too much. But just imagine you're trying to lift your bum off the ground. So when you drive your elbows into the floor, you're going to try and imagine that you're going to create as much force that it's going to pretend the floor's behind me. You're going to lift your body off the floor. Like I said, I only lift mine up a tiny smidgen. So don't worry if you don't lift anything.
Okay.
You're just trying to create the mindset essentially of really thinking about generating as much force as you can into the ground behind you. And that's
as if you're pulling
you're
down.
essentially pretending you're doing a lat pull. But your body doesn't know if it's doing one or not. All it knows is resistance. And when you hit the floor, you're essentially moving against an immovable object, but you're still creating force. So it's still a beneficial exercise, and it's one way you can get some pulling exercises without a cable machine. If that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Were you going to say something, Craig?
I'm getting wet.
Oh, is it raining?
Yeah.
Oh, send it out here. Yeah.
I'm boiling, but my aircon's not working. All right, next round coming up.
Those lateral lunges.
Yeah, so lateral lunges next. So go bad side first. And again, there's no rush at all with these. Just take a little bit of extra time, in fact. So do 5 on either side, and just try and get a little bit deeper. So for my weak side, my right side, come down here. But instead of just popping up straight away, see if you can just sink in a little bit. See if you can get this like parallel to the ground. Don't worry if you can't, but just try and get a little bit closer with each rep. Five. Last one. All right. Pikes. So remember, you don't have to go from fully laid down. You could just start with your feet above you and just reach up. So you really want to squeeze your core, squeeze your abs, and really try and physically reach, as if you're reaching to the top shelf or something. So try and touch your toes, squeezing your abs, and reaching up. All right, and from here, so we've got the elbow press again. That's what I'm calling it. So you've got the lat machine in your hands. It's the heaviest weight you've ever lifted. Just pull down towards the ground. When your elbows hit the floor, just try and drive it back a little bit further. And imagine you're going to drive your body away from the floor. Pull, drive. So I'm only lifting myself like an inch off the floor, if that. You're not going to go very far, but just think about creating as much tension as you can. Six. 2 more. All right, last round coming up. Have a little drink. All right, you all okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last round coming up. This one, it's going to be more or less the same, but I'm just going to add a few things in there if you want to follow along. So don't worry, you can just do it exactly as it was. But I'll give you like a slightly more challenging version, at least for one exercise that I've got in mind. Yeah, the lunges we're gonna play around with. All right, so last round. So, lateral lunges. You can turn these into what's called a archer squat. So when you step like this, you can actually come all the way to the ground, and then this foot is pointing up. Don't worry if you can't do it, but if you can, have a go. So you come down, turn your foot up. It's quite hard to keep your balance. quite a lot louder. All right. Step. So you basically just get a bit of extra range. Quite a lot of extra flexibility though. Step. Turn that up. All right. Pikes. All right. Okay, so you got your elbow drive, reach up to the ceiling. This applies more to if you like actually squeeze, you've got a weight in your hand. If you think about really squeezing your grip, so that creates something called irradiation. And all these little extra muscles in your forearm, you're going to activate. And by virtue of those muscle cells being on, you can actually generate a little bit more force. So you can use this as a bit of a trick to, if you're doing a barbell bench press, for instance, and you're really struggling for that last rep. Obviously, you want all your core engaged, your glutes, you're driving through your feet to get as much power as you can. You think about really gripping the bar, almost trying to like bend it like an old-fashioned strongman. You're trying to bend it into that U shape. You'll be able to generate a bit more force. So if you try making the strongest grip you can as you drive down into the floor, and see if that feels any more powerful. And I'm not going to say finish yet. There's one last little bonus. You don't have to do this if you don't want. But just to polish you off, if you're not feeling like you've been worked hard enough, I slagged this exercise off kind of to Isaac. So to somewhat apologise for that, I'm going to do 100 of them. So mountain climbers. So if you feel like it, just do as many as you can. Or if you can do 100, and then just collapse and nearly finish.